Mary Fowler. Fowler?
We already know her.
I wish we didn't know her. Short-lived, but for a little while, we were all Everton fans, you know, up the trophies and all that.
I think as women and girls, we take a lot. Told that we're not worth much, that we're not important, our sport, our health isn't the priority. And they went out and they turned it into a moment of uniting. I'm so coordinated. Also, have you seen my
coordinated and you were rocking a suit?
My t-shirt on for the first time?
Honey, I'm homo.
Honey, I'm homo.
Where did you get it?
Belfast.
Belfast.
And it was great.
At a little cute little charity queer collective sort of place.
It was so cute. And also, I implore everybody, I know this is completely off the topic of football, but I implore you to go online and look at the Mayor of Belfast, because that is not what you expect a mayor to look like.
My favourite part is that he was wearing his hoodie and then the Lord Mayor chain.
Thank you. Love him. Big fan. I did want a photo. I wanted to get you with a photo with him, but unfortunately.
Yeah. Which I would have gone ahead and asked him for if he hadn't been eating like a brownie or something.
He was eating a 15.
I didn't want to a 15. See, look at you know what 15s are. Oh, my little Belfast heart. Yeah. And I think my I've not shown the people my tattoo. Yeah, I think it's fully healed.
You'll get out.
My little era tattoo.
Oh God,
not like eras, not like Taylor Swift, but era as in Ireland.
You're forever in your Ireland era.
Forever in my Ireland era.
Just getting rank out aims.
Oh, right. We have a very special guest coming up. So, should we jump in with hot off the pitch?
Yeah, get that.
Now, I see somebody straight away has asked thoughts on the Super Bowl. No thoughts. I have no thoughts about the Super Bowl. That is the wrong kind of football that we're talking about. You know what?
I have watched the halftime.
They can.
I watched the halftime show on my lunch break with manager Matt.
I have had Kendrick in my head. Like I was literally singing it as I went on live, and then I was like, no, I probably can't sing it because Drake might sue me too.
He might. And you know what was good? That I saw this on quite a lot of people's profiles. The Nike advert that was in the Super Bowl. It was the first time Nike had an advert in 27 years at the Super Bowl or something, and it was all women.
Oh, it was. I loved it. It was so good,
powerful, and it was like, good. What was it? You can't win, so win or something. Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
It was beautiful, and the who was it? Alexia Putellas photo ads as well. God, you see the muscles? That's inspiring me to go to the gym. I'm like, also, get me hench.
The patchwork tattoos on her back. Yeah,
that'll be me.
That'll be
Ian's just said now. Full sleeve.
Pending the Putellas back. Never mind the full sleeve.
As long as it looks as hench as hers.
Yeah,
actually, MK
Nike Pro Sports bra with the cross back. That's what you need.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just saw a comment from somebody called MK there about Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts, and I thought if the Super Bowl gets brought up, I'm going to mention this. I'm going to mention exactly what that comment says. The Eagles quarterback, who was the MVP of the game, has an all-female management team, and he like specifically hired an all-female management team like purposefully. And I just thought that was really cool.
Cool. Big fan.
Big fan. So where do we start? What is
okay,
what's
so
been
let's
happening?
do half the pitch. We'll cover everything. Then we'll go to, we've had two things. The Shebahn Talk Sports. Someone said Mapi Leon. So we'll do the full route round. We'll start with games. Then we'll go to controversies.
Okay. Games and then controversies. Got it. Okay. Which are obviously, like, we're laughing, but it is very important to talk about all facets of the women's game, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we will come to it.
Themselves.
Hey?
Laughing at the agenda, not so much the topics themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, let's think back to not that long ago, the games on the weekend. So
Don't start there. Start Subby Cuppy midweek.
Oh yeah, Subby Cuppy, a little midweek Subby Cuppy. Got a pair of Subway. Well, you got me a pair of Subway socks, which was very nice of you, very kind. And I did rock them in school the other day. Nobody commented. I was very disappointed. But yes, love the Subway cup socks. Did not love the scoreline. That was
No. What did we
the
lose
Man
by? I
City
can't
game.
remember. Was it 2-1
2-1.
in the
So
85th? No, the 95th minute.
95th minute. And you know what? And you'll love what I say, and you can clip it to your heart's content. Mary Fowler. Fowler?
Barely know her.
I barely know her. Or I wish we didn't know her on that in this
I know
occasion.
that's what I'm saying.
She was, but she did play fantastically. Like, look, we talked about this a little bit today. We've and talked about it many weeks. We're Arsenal fans, but as the Canon Collective will attest to on Sunday, I was saying I hate Arsenal. I hate them. I love them, but I'll be the first to criticize them. I literally stood there like I hate this team, and they were all like, "We feel you."
Yeah.
Like if another team is playing better, and I don't think that Arsenal were playing badly, it just took a little bit for them to get into it, and they took a little bit to them to get into it on Sunday as well.
It was lacking a
Like
bit of jazz.
I'll hand it to Man City. Like Mary Fowler played an absolute fantastic game.
Yeah.
If the other team is better, I'm not like gonna blindly follow. Like I support Arsenal and I don't support anybody else, but I'm not gonna blindly be like we were robbed. Like if we weren't, do you know what I
We
mean?
weren't robbed. We were. They purchased that win. They did.
Yeah.
They came in and they ordered and they took it away.
And we did get a cheeky little pen, which was nice.
Did we? Where did we get a pen from?
Yeah. Stina got taken down in the box.
Oh, I thought you meant you got a free pen because you wanted about getting free snacks. I was like,
Then
wait
big
a minute,
steps
did I miss out on a Subway pen?
And Arsenal are level.
What the fuck?
Cheeky little
From the
pen.
spot.
No,
It's literally-
penalty.
Sorry. Back on
That
board.
Mario Super Mario took a penalty and scored.
Yeah.
And then we were
who's
1-1 for ages until
Is it-
we thought it was going to be extra time. I was thinking, I better put some more money on my bloody parking meter.
I think a lot of people at the point that everybody said I can't be asked to wait around for penalties was the moment that Mary Fowler scored, and then I
Yeah,
think
she was
everybody
like,
a
a
bit
bet.
really wish that I hadn't quite gone in with that straight away.
She was like, I want to get home before midnight, love. I'm putting it in the bag of an out.
But yeah, so is that now Chelsea Man City final? Was that quarter final? I can't remember anymore.
No, that was a semi-final. That was semi-final of the Women's League Cup. So
The final then is Man City Chelsea. No?
yes,
Someone say.
somebody help. But what's fun?
Yes.
Many
Chelsea.
yeses. What's fun is Chelsea are playing Man City 4 times over the next like month, which crazy for Man City fans. Like the stress.
So it's Sub Cup for the final, WSL, and then Champions League both legs.
Yes, both
I
legs.
can't work out what the fourth one was, but it's both legs. Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So okay, so the final is Man City Chelsea, and that's at Pride Park in Derby, which we want to go to.
Yeah, we need to get some tickets though. We need to source
We do
them.
need. I talked to Kat because Kat was like, I live 20 minutes from the stadium, but I'm not going to go. And I was like, Kat, what?
We could do with finding from someone who just can't go anymore and buying them off them. I think we missed the boat. on
So if
tickets.
anybody knows anyone,
who can't go anymore,
do your
who wants to
magic.
buy their
Work your
tickets,
magic. So we're about to go into. We had some games at the weekend there. We had FA Cup, so it wasn't WSL this weekend. It was FA Cup. So we had games on Saturday and Sunday, and we were at. Well, I was at the one. Me and Ames were at the one on Sunday.
I had a mental health afternoon. I was supposed to go.
And you know what? Good for you.
The sofa was
you.
my fun. I watched it from the sofa with a Cinnabon, and it was what I needed.
And honestly, you were better off because it was boring as hell. I was literally stood there like this, watching the grass grow.
Yeah.
It was no, like actually, do you know what? It wasn't awful, but there were points of it where I was like, I don't understand why we are playing the way we're playing. We can play better than this. It's it's
just
painful at points.
I think M described it as flat. perfect word. It was like there was no highs, there was no lows. There was just like,
Yeah.
if that was
just
the
flat.
first game of football I'd ever watched, I don't think I'd have stayed around.
Yeah. It took us 32 minutes to get a goal. And then, the goals were good, but the rest of it was a little bit just, meh.
Yeah,
Oh my
Hannah
God,
did.
as if that was, Han just said, is that yesterday? Yeah, as if that was only yesterday. It feels like it was not yesterday.
I think because we did so much stuff after, because you and Ames came around after, didn't you? We had a
Yeah.
takeaway, which was
Yeah,
great.
it was
We had a
absolutely
takeaway and we
brilliant.
watched Euros highlights to re-spark.
Yeah, and to get us
Remind us
excited for the summer.
Oh well, yeah. We're like, you know what, we'll watch something that we know we win and it's good and it's exciting.
Yep. Except we had to watch quite a lot of the highlights of England booting goals past Northern Ireland, so that wasn't exactly
That wasn't great
and fun. No, it was not. But
do you highly recommend having your mates round, getting a takeaway and watching England games that you know you'll win because they're already old?
We did have quite an exciting moment though when we were texting in the group chat about this. We had a very exciting kind of window of time, whatever 36 minus 17 is in terms of minutes, where Everton were beating Chelsea 1-0.
Yeah, so I was on the sofa and I could hear everyone suddenly shouting, "We hate Chelsea, we hate Chelsea." And I was like, but why? Because we're not playing Chelsea right now. I get that is the general vibe, but why is that vibe happening now? And then the commentator was like, Everton have just scored against Chelsea. And I was like, ah. But that was very short-lived because they did win 4-1.
4-1, yeah.
So that's not
so not, it was short-lived, but for a little while we were all Everton fans.
Yeah.
There was a lot of, up the toffees and all that in the stands. So excited for Everton. But
they're going to keep winning. They're going to win. They're winners. It's what's happening.
They're going to win. I suspect we will see them in the finals of all of the
things.
The Champions League, the FA Cup, the Sub Cup. Well, we know they're in the Sub Cup final. But so now we go into actually a little bit of a. We have Super League games this weekend coming up, and then after that we go into international break for 2 weeks. So we will have the North London Derby on Sunday, which we're going to, and I'm excited for. And then we'll have internationals after that. So there's some friendlies being played, and then there's quite a lot of international cups being played. Like the She Believes Cup is being played. That's Australian and Korean, lots of things.
Our area that has international break, that it's actually every country, and then they're not going to play in Europe. They're going to go. You know what I mean? Like it kind of like my brain.
Yeah, they go home to Australia and stuff like that. The UEFA Women's Nations League is also being played in that break or that international break. And there's tons of games. There's tons of international games coming up over the next couple of weeks, which is very exciting. And we are going on Wednesday the 26th to the UEFA Women's Nation League game between England and Spain. So Euros champs and world champs head to head.
That is exciting. Also, I was wondering, for the FA Cup games, just so we don't miss them, was there any exciting scores that weren't WSL teams? Because obviously there's so many teams in there that aren't WSL.
Let me go back in
I'm
time.
looking now and I can see Portsmouth, Sunderland 2-0. That's a big distance. No, again, Sunderland to Portsmouth is really far south now.
And you know what? Per Rugby Borough.
Yeah.
Because they played their wee hearts out and then...
And they were
Liverpool
really big
came in and...
as well for the equal pay FA Cup stuff. They shared loads of videos, loads of promoting for it. Oh, Martin, fun fact, has said the only non-WSL team still in is Sunderland.
Oh, good for Sunderland. Bit of north-east representation there.
Newcastle have been knocked out by Crystal Palace.
Yep.
Same, because I do like watching Newcastle. Their travelling fans are...
amazing.
Limited.
So good. When we went to see them at Birmingham, they were very, very loud. It was very impressive.
A fraction of the number of people. I guess that's kind of like when Arsenal go away. So loud. Yeah. Newcastle, the same. You can hear them. The Geordie chorus It rings loud.
The Geordie chorus. I love it. So lots of exciting things coming up. I don't know what the table's looking at right now. Oh no, I do. Chelsea are still the top, so it's fine. um,
Well,
Chelsea,
the
Man
league was
U,
the same,
Arsenal.
wasn't it? Weren't it changed? So Man United number 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true, because it wasn't Super League. Yes, Man United number 2, Arsenal number 3, so same as it
On to
was.
the first controversy. Speaking of Man United,
Yes, on to the first controversy of the hot off the
yeah.
pitch.
So I think everybody knows or has heard of Alan Brazil, Gabby, can't remember his last name, very sorry, and Shebahn. Is it Aherne? Is that his name?
Shebahn Aherne,
Shebahn
yes.
Aherne. When she was describing the information that is included in Project 150, she was like, it includes Mission 21, which is getting the men their 21st Premiership title, and then getting a Mission 1 is included as well, which is getting the women their first WSL title. End of story, end of note, carrying on with the show. Got interrupted and said that nobody's bothered about women's football. It didn't need to be said, could have just carried on with the conversation because she covered it. But I thought maybe we can just focus on the positive of the girls who went to the game, the Manchester United game this weekend.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
they,
100%.
I think Holly knows the name, I've forgotten, sorry, it's been a long day. The girls who went to the Manchester United game and they took signs with them that I think say we are bothered or we care. And they really turned, Holly said it's her badass friend Rosa. So Rosa. And I know that I saw it on Only Women's Football account, but they took a situation that I think as women and girls we take a lot, where we're told that we're not worth much, that we're not important, that our sport, our health isn't the priority. And they went out and they turned it into a moment of uniting. And I guess that,
which was really, really lovely to see. Really lovely to see them take to the stands and have that like loud message back. Because the fact of the matter is, people do care. People do care about women's football. There were a lot of people saying like, "Oh, I don't personally watch it. I don't personally care." Okay, but that you can't make a sweeping statement and say that nobody cares. That's just bonkers in this day and age. Like, I don't watch, fly fishing, but I don't think that nobody cares about fly fishing. I just don't care about fly fishing.
But it's
I'm not
clearly
gonna shit on people who do. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's this, this narrative of, it's not for you. It's not for you. So nobody's going to care about it.
Yeah.
There's loads of things that weren't for women. Voting weren't for women. Credit cards wasn't for women.
But you know what?
Like,
Do you know what I looked at recently? One of the comments that I got a lot of was obviously, and I tell you, in my comment section, it has been disturbing, disgusting, and whatever. Like the men who, and it is men, I can tell it's men because of the pictures, have appeared who have left like the most vile of comments. I swear to God that sport is the only space left where you can say women are shit, useless, say all these things, and as long as you caveat it with the word football or sport, you've got away with it. And I've said this multiple times. Like, as long as you say women's football is shit, what you really seem to mean is women are shit. And it's like, it just keeps on. Like, if I could show you my review comments, hundreds and hundreds, and I feel like over the next 5 years, it's only going to get worse. Like, so the fact that like Rose has done this, this positivity out of it to go to the game and show like we are bothered, we do care. But
for sure.
Before I went off on that tirade, one of the things I was going to say is I got loads of comments that were like, it's the men's team that are bringing in the money. Where's the investment in the team? Women got banned from the FA pitches, but why didn't they just buy their own? In 1921, when women's teams were banned, when the women were banned from the FA, from playing on the FA pitches, do you know what they couldn't do? Like you just said, own a bank account. You know what women under 28 couldn't do? Under 31, I think maybe, vote. So how were they going to vote to be able to change the law so they could get a bank account, so that they could buy a field, so they could buy some boots, so they could go play, when otherwise they'd have to get a man to sign the form so they could get the bank account and get the credit, a man who didn't want them to play, who wanted them to stay in the kitchen and stay at home with the kids. Of course they fucking didn't buy their own pitches, Steve.
Yeah, it's it's hard because we can see that we've made so much progress, right? Progress is fantastic. But moments like this remind us of how far we still have to go. And actually, moments like this remind me how important allyship is, and making spaces safe for people from all walks of life. And a huge part of what can be done is men can actually call out other men. That is such a huge, important part of like moving forward. If you're not gonna listen to us, which clearly a lot of men don't, because nobody cares about us and or is interested in what we have to say. Like call out your mates. Like call out people like strangers in the comment section. Like be that ally. It's important, and it's noticed, and it doesn't go. It's not. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just.
I've tried my best every time this weekend that I've had a comment, because I have at points just avoided my comment sections altogether. But every time I've had a comment that's actually from a man being correcting somebody or saying like, look, I don't watch it, but I know people do. I've literally tried to make a point of going back and being like, thank you for commenting that. Like, because it just gets drowned out in this like loudness. But we don't need to prove ourselves. And I think at the end of the day, like, women, we have to work extra hard to get half as much. And someone commented, what do you think that men should pay reparations? Maybe I do.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm not ashamed to say that. I think that white people should pay reparations too. I think that everyone who has prevented progress should pay some reparations. I'm not against that. And I think he put that comment as a like, come on then, be real. And I'm like, I am real.
Yeah.
This is what I think. This is
Thank
what
you.
I think. Pay up.
Yeah, it's just a culture of toxicity that's sort of been bred, and we'll always fight hard to break out of that and make spaces that are welcoming for queer people, for trans people, for allies, for anybody who just is interested in sport and wants to come and hang out. This is your safe space. You're with two queers who have a little bit of an idea sometimes about some things, and lots of other queer people. If the clue's in the name, all the queer, some idea. We're here. That's my little pitch.
I enjoyed that. Get Brave to clip. That's very good. Speaking of coming correctly, we've got, we'll go over by 1 minute, 3 minutes. We'll cover, I've seen a lot of comments about it before. Mapi Leon.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to see the clip?
I haven't had a chance to see the clip. I've seen pictures, and I've also seen her statement that she's come out with.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, she's come out with a statement. No, I don't have it up in front of me. I don't have it up in front of me, but she has put out a statement. Let me see if I can get it.
Kerry's just put, I feel bad as I'm straight, but I'm interested in sporting. It's not a space purely for queer people.
No.
It's a space that includes queer people, but it's safe for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Exclusive.
The theys, the gays, the allies, everybody.
Use the theys and the
everybody. But just know that you're in a safe space, a safe and welcome space. No matter what your walk of life. And as long as you're nice and kind and respectful to everybody, then you're welcome here. Okay, let me see. I can't actually find her statement. I know she's put one out. I can't. I've typed. Oh no! Hang on.
Okay, so
what I will say, from what I have seen, it doesn't look good for Mapi. It's disappointing. She's come out with a statement. Oh, I wish I could find it. I can't find it, but she basically came out with her statement saying it was
on the Barca Instagram stories.
Okay, it was part of like play, like as in the play was in action, and it was her hands went where it went, but not in an intentional way. But a lot of people are disappointed with her statement because she does kind of seem to be shifting and sort of defending her actions. It says that the other team, Espanyol, have come out with a statement condemning her actions, especially for what she said, as well as the
The
touching.
only thing that I've seen, someone said late to this one, what's happened. So it looks like during what I think is the Catalonia derby or something equivalent on that lines, Espanyol versus Barcelona. There's a short clip of Mapi where they're like tussling, and it looks like she like does a groping gesture to her.
Yeah, Daniela Caracas was the other player. Just important to name her.
And then she says something in Spanish, which I've seen translations, something along the lines of, "Do you have a dick?" or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's hugely disappointing from Mapi Leon, who is, such a role model for so many people. I've seen a lot of comments saying, I can't believe that somebody that I've looked up to would do this. I mean, Spain are currently embroiled in one of the most high-profile sports cases that they've had. So on the back of that trial happening, yeah, it's hard to look at everything that's happened and not think, like, just what were you thinking?
Yeah, I think that's what we both said. We were walking together earlier and we were just like, why? But people have to be held accountable. I think I haven't seen a statement. I'd hope that she'd say something that is a bit better. Someone's put here, the statement suggests she said, "What is wrong with you? But can we believe?" I don't know. I don't actually speak the language. I don't know if she says, I don't know if Mappy speaks Spanish or Catalonian. I'm not sure. But either way, I'm useless. I don't speak it.
You did
I
download
can't even read
Duolingo.
it. I don't even download Duolingo even though I say it well. But
Oh yeah, it says the translation part wasn't mentioned by Daniela's statement, so maybe be careful mentioning that. Yeah, that's true. We don't know what she said.
I don't know. Yeah,
I've
I don't
not
know if
heard
that
what
is
she
what
said.
I saw
So
that
no,
on TikTok.
I can't speak to that. That's just sort of articles have mentioned it, but articles can write anything, as we know. Like the Telegraph post, the Telegraph. No matter what news source you use, I'm not like making one better than another, but there have been a few different sort of news posters. Well, I can't think of the word. Who've sort of said various things about what happened. She's come out with a statement, so clearly, like, there is heat behind. Well, there is heat behind it, and clearly she is. She's reacting to that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of years. Years, days, with this. But yeah, hugely disappointing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we just have to see. We don't have enough information at the moment, so we'll see. Okay, last thing, hot off the pitch. I think that's everything. Everyone keeps saying thoughts on Ted Lasso season 4. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, okay. So Ted Lasso season 4, they are focusing on a women's team.
Yeah,
like a formation of a women's team. I've never watched Ted Lasso, but
I asked the question
I believe
and
that's.
And if you watch that back, you'll see that my face is zoning out as I read the. Sorry. Sorry, Salma's put, what happened this week really highlights that women of it rolled away. Women of colour in the game are fighting a different battle. This is true, and the same with the Bunny Shaw stuff. Glad that she's back, but no one
scored
through that and scored, proving that she is one of the best players. But it's a battle that I'll never understand, and I'm always going to try my best to speak when I see things that are wrong, but I can see just from my comment sections what's there. Like we keep saying, there's a lot of work to do, and again, just keep calling it out.
Yeah, keep calling it out.
We don't have to accept it. I think that's what we had a lot of in my comments, didn't I, recently? It's just the way it is. You have to accept it. No, we don't.
No.
I don't want to.
And actually, and I had this sort of back and forth with somebody. when we normalize things, when we say, oh, it's just how it's always been, like that complacency leads to normalcy, which is really scary especially in the world environment that we are currently in, where there is so much upheaval and there's so much turmoil and there's so many marginalized communities being torn apart by political systems, by war, by everything. And that kind of rhetoric, that kind of language around something like racism is just like, that should never be normal. That it should never be made like, oh, it's just part of the game. No, it's not just part of the game, and nor should it ever have been or should be.
No, I'd agree on everything you've said, as always.
Thank you.
Well, not
Sorry,
always.
I got a little bit fiery there.